Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Lambert Podcast. This is your host, Sister Darnisha C. Pickett, past matron of Bright Ray Chapter number 136 in Henning, Tennessee. And I have a special guest with me today, Sister Takesha Smiley. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. At this time, would you please inform the listening audience, give an introduction, however deep you would like to go?
Okay. So my name is Takesha Smiley. I am a past matron out of Excelsior, Chapter 305 in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I am also a past state queen out of North Carolina. I actually enjoy being a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. I put my whole self into the order.
Right on, right on. And you definitely can tell by the work that you do. Today, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about the Order of the Eastern Star Visualize, but before we get too deep into that, would you like to take us down your journey in becoming a member of the order, how you were introduced to it?
Yes, absolutely. So I had a kind of a, what I would say, a crooked path that wasn't exactly straight coming to the order. As a little girl, the members of my family were members of the Order of the Eastern Star. Most notably for me, my great aunt Johnny R. Robinson was a prominent member in the state of Alabama. She was on the Grand Staff. She passed before she made it to the Grand East, but she was definitely on her way. And then my aunt Dimples, who was my favorite person in the world, she was a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, and she actually passed on to me her rituals, which I have here, and her handkerchief, which she hand embroidered with the star. So I keep those things with me and take them all the time when I go to my meetings to remind me that it's not just me, but my ancestors. So it did take me a little while to come into the order because I am a military transplant to North Carolina, and I've been on all 7 continents with the military. I'm a retired Chief Warrant Officer 3 for the Marine Corps. I served in several wars, and then I raised my children. And so I didn't actually join the order until 2005, when I kind of settled into my career and had time to dedicate to the order. And so my Order of the Eastern Star career, my Masonic journey started in 2005 with Electa Chapter 25 in Okinawa, Japan.
All right, awesome, awesome. Yeah, that it's always I can always relate when someone mentions their ancestors being a member of the order. It does give you a different sense of energy when you know that your ancestors also were members of the order as well. So I can definitely appreciate that. Wonderful. So in getting into the book a little bit, the Order of the Eastern Star Visualized, can you tell us how it came about? What made you interested in publishing the work?
Yes, so for this particular book, I was really thinking about what I could do. I'm a deputy in my district, and I was really thinking what I could do to help my new sisters and brothers coming into the order, as well as some of my seasoned brothers and sisters, to really connect with the star points and remember or learn some of those basic informations in a way that would be engaging to them, and not so, shall we say, boring, and just, reading it out of the ritual, something that they could see and remember and reflect upon that would make them, happy and want to pick it up and read it. And so my son, Isaiah, he's a self-taught graphic artist. And he's like, Mom, I've done some other work for you, and I could really make these star points come alive. They may not have looked the way you thought they looked when we think about the biblical times, because, we are a Bible-based organization. And so during the biblical times, if we think about the time frame in which these heroines came from, what would they have looked like? And it may not have been exactly those images we see. If you think about Esther, when she's kneeling and touching that scepter, she may not have looked that, lily white in the face, maybe not as pale if you think about the region of the world from which she came from. And so we went back and forth about what she may have looked like. And we started, sketching out on the computer what she may have looked like. And that's where those images came from. And so we thought we'd put faces that may be a little more representational to those words and the look of those heroines. And so that was how the book came about. And for the cover, we thought we'd use gems instead of the actual star points to let you know that we are gems. We are to be valued. We should value ourselves. When we go out into the world, we want to carry ourselves in a way that has value. So that if we carry ourselves in a way that has values, then others will also treat us in a way that has values. And that's why we went with gems for those star point colors.
Awesome. Yes, I was definitely going to touch on, you answered one of the questions for me. So Isaiah Harris is your son.
Yes, Isaiah's my firstborn son.
Okay. Because when I was looking through the work, I definitely wanted to speak with you about the original illustrations in the book that I really thought was unique. So I'm glad that you touched on that. And I would show it, but I want the people to go and get it. I want the members of the order to go and get it so they could see exactly what we're talking about. Of course, you can see the gems illustrated on the front cover, but there's some additional illustrations in the book that you mentioned in the book were original illustrations. And I just learned that Isaiah Harris is your son. That's awesome. So you all kind of collaborated on what they would look like in the book.
Yes. Sister Pickett, one other thing that Isaiah has done, now he works a lot with me on my Phyllis chapter presentations. You may have seen a couple of them. One thing that he has done is he has taken all of the OES and he's working on some of the other Prince Hall affiliated organizations, emblems, and he has recreated them digitally. And you can find them on his Etsy site. Our images have been passed down for generations and generations, and they've become degraded over time. But he has recreated those 100% digitally so that when you want to have them in your works, your written works, or anywhere else, you can have a better quality that will represent us a little bit better.
Awesome, amazing. I will definitely have to check that out, and we may have to drop a link to his site so others can check it out as well. So in publishing, I wanted to ask, what direction did you go when it came down to publishing? Is it self-published?
It is self-published. And we decided to go with self-publishing because we want to keep our costs low. Because the way we split our profits is that Isaiah, of course, he's young, so he lives off of his publishing rights, and I donate all of mine. So 100% of my publishing goes right back into whatever I am supporting for my community services. I am 100% about community service, and I give a good percentage of my income to the community. And so my Senior Delights, that's in my district, I give quite a bit back to them. And so between this book and my word search book, 100% of that goes right back into my Senior Delights and other community service projects that I have going on. But Isaiah, that goes into his livable income.
Okay, nice, nice. So, in mentioning the word search book, I want to talk just a little bit about that one as well. That one has not made it to me, but could you tell us a little bit about that one? Did that come out of a lecturing need as well for your district?
So the word search book, we created that one especially for my Senior Delight as their gift for last year. I wanted something that my seniors could enjoy because most of our Senior Delights, they like the word search. And so I wanted something that they would enjoy doing, but something that would also reflect their memories back to the order. And so when we came up with that one, on the one that we gave to the Senior Delights, I have a personal letter in there, thanking them for everything that they've contributed to the order and explaining to them what we've done throughout the year and letting them know that, COVID is not going to be with us always, and that sooner or later we would be able to get back into our chapter room, and let them know I could not wait to see them and give them a great big hug. And so that's the version that I sent out to our Senior Delights. And then we decided, hey, why not publish this one as well? It was really discovery learning there. And so we did. And then my proceeds of that goes right back into the community. It helps, like I said, with those gifts and just reminding our seniors that we really love up on them.
Awesome. That is amazing. And I also see that Isaiah Harris did some work on this one as well.
Yes, actually, Isaiah, he is not a member of the order yet. As I was mentioning that I want to make sure before I join the order, I can devote my time to it. Isaiah's still building his career. He is actually not a graphic artist trained. He's self-trained. He's a business guy. That's what his degree is in, and that's what his job is. And he also has, some side businesses that he's a true entrepreneur. Me and my husband together teach our children. We have 4 between the 2 of us, but we teach our children that it's not enough to have one stream of income, that you must have multiple streams of income to make it in America. And so that's what we teach them, and that is what they all work towards. So this is a extra stream of income for him. And so we're just waiting for him to decide that it's time for him to, join the Masonic order. But we're definitely starting to apply a little pressure, ready. And so because he is not in the Masonic order, then he can't have access to the things that I can have access to. So he does the heavy lifting when it comes to the publishing, when it comes to the technical aspects of how do we get this done. And so all of the Masonic aspects of it, that's my portion and contribution to our team effort.
That's awesome. It really is. I would not have been able to tell that he wasn't trained because the illustrations are awesome. So did you find that the Order of the Eastern Star Visualized, did it start to, I know it started as a training for your district, but did you find it to grow throughout the state or even beyond? Did anyone contact you and tell you, hey, I saw this book you wrote?
It's very interesting because when I started doing my research for, the Phyllis chapter teaches us to do that research. So when I started doing the research, I did have to reach out to my grand worthy matron and have a great conversation with her about, publishing, something about the order and what that entailed. And although they did not have to give me an endorsement, she did have to give me, an approval, before publishing, to make sure that there wasn't anything in there that was, giving away any of our secrets. We're not a secret organization, but we do have some secrets that, keep those who are not us out of our business. And so we did have to have a conversation to make sure that there was nothing. I had to send it to her. And so, just to make sure, we always want to be covered and make sure that we're doing things decent and in order. And so that was a little interesting, but it was definitely worth the effort. And so I was thinking about making this as a presentation at the Phyllis chapter, which I haven't decided if I'm going to do yet, because as you know, that printed paper is pretty expensive. But now that we're virtual, I may make it virtually. That may be an option. So it has gotten some good traction. It's actually selling very well. So I'm at a point now where I'm thinking about doing a huge community project for the youth here, because I have amassed some funds on my end from these two books as well.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, and I always enjoy your presentation. So of course I'm gonna be one to say, yes, of course, do it.
Well, they did extend our deadline.
Deadline, yeah.
I may present it. I may present it. I'm still, up in the air about whether or not I will present it. And maybe some of it may make it into the magazine if we have some open spots in the Phyllis magazine as well. But I'm just very excited that it is doing well. And Isaiah and I are working on some other things. We're working on a PTSD book because I did serve in the military. I do myself have PTSD that I struggle with from time to time. And so we're working on something in that realm as well.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And for those of you who may have been living under a rock and have not heard about the Phyllis chapter, if you're a member of the Order of the Eastern Star Prince Hall affiliate, I definitely encourage you to join. And Sister Smiley actually serves as the editor for the magazine. Would you like to talk about that a little bit as well?
So you notice I did plug the Phyllis chapel a couple of times.
That's right.
Where our president is Sister Flora Simon. I am very proud of this organization. Sister Simon's done a wonderful job leading this organization, especially through COVID, where some organizations are starting to, die out just a little bit. She has definitely kept us moving forward through our virtual conferences, of which we have one coming up. The Phyllis chapter is focused on preserving the history of our Prince Hall organizations, specifically the Phyllis chapter for the Order of the Eastern Star. Now, we don't just preserve the history of the Order of the Eastern Star, but other organizations, different events, different type of things like teas, different things that affect our culture as well. And we actually teach how to preserve the history, how to write that history. So if you are interested in preserving history, if you're interested in writing that history, and if you don't know how to do it, don't be afraid. Just come to us and, join this organization, find something in your city, in your state, reach out to your grand chapter, and we'll point you in the right direction, how you can join our organization with open, welcoming, and loving arms.
Awesome. Yes, I definitely enjoy it. It is a very awesome space to be and awesome people to be in discussion with, for sure. All right, so Sister Smiley, I would definitely be dropping the links to the books in the Facebook group and also in the description on YouTube. Is there any upcoming works that you would like to discuss? I think you touched on some just a little bit, or anything you want us to look out for. I definitely encourage you all to get both of these works. You won't be disappointed.
No, my son and I, Isaiah, as a team building exercise for us, like I said, he is my firstborn. We do have 4 children, but we committed to doing 5 works of art together. So this is the first 2. We're going to continue to move forward to, get 3 more done here over the next few years. So hopefully sooner than later. We want to branch out into other avenues. We're working on something on PTSD. We are going to do something in the very near future. It'll be another word search book, but it'll be on African-American history. So hopefully we can have that out sometime in February.
Nice. We would definitely be looking out for that word.
Okay.
Um, as we move into closing remarks, I would like to say again, thank you so much for coming on to talk about the Order of the Eastern Star Visualized and the Word Search book. Personally, I definitely wanted to shine light on those works, because anytime, I find that a sister published a work in regards to the order, trying to disperse information, I definitely appreciate it, and definitely want to let others know about it for sure. And like I said, I've saw you present, and I've met you in person, and I know, the work that you put in. So I can definitely appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming on.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for having me. When you reached out to me, I was very happy, and it has been a pleasure. I've seen you present as well. And so I like your work, and I'm definitely a fan of what you do. And I just want to say to all those out there, everyone is an author. Everyone has something to.
Uh-oh. Sister Smiley, are you still there? Uh-oh. I think she dropped out for just a second. I'm going to give her just a moment to come back with us for her closing. Uh-oh, she's back. All right, there you are.
Did I lose you?
Yes.
I was just giving my closing comments. I just
Yes.
want everyone to know that everyone is a writer, everyone has ideas, and that if you want to write and you don't know how to get started, just open up your computer or pick up your journal and start putting down your ideas on paper. And if you don't know how to get it done, just reach out to me through this podcast and I'll be very happy to assist. Just start writing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And you all make sure you go get a copy of the book and reach out to Sister Smiley and let her know, give your feedback, hey, reviews and things of that nature. But I'm sure you will enjoy it and be able to utilize it in your areas, because it's not jurisdiction specific also.
No, it's not.
Right. You definitely can learn something from it. So anyway, thank you. Thank you again, Sister Smiley, for coming on. And thank you all for coming and viewing the Lambert podcast with us again. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.